What's up guys? In today's video I want to discuss about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's ESRB rating because they have finally released it. So for those of you who don't know, ESRB ratings are used to give a game rating to determine the specific age group or age range that the game is like targeted for, or the target audience is supposed to be for. So 7 Rebirth is rated teen. So we have there's language, mild suggestive themes, use of alcohol and tobacco, violence, and right on the right side there is a summary, a more in-depth summary. So let's go ahead and go over it. So this is an action role-playing game in which players follow the story of a mercenary Cloud Strife on a quest to save the planet from evil. Players explore fantasy landscapes, perform missions, and battle monsters and soldiers in frenetic melee combat. Characters use swords, staffs, guns, and magic spells to fight monsters and human soldiers. Combat is highlighted by impact sounds, cries of pain, and explosions. That's expected. Cutscenes depict further instances of violence, sometimes with splatters, pools of blood. Okay, the pools of blood, we didn't have that in. I believe we didn't have any blood in the first game in remake. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is good. I like that they're going the more mature route with the game moving forward. So let's continue. Characters impaled or slashed by swords, sometimes with slow motion effects. An assassin throwing a spinning blade, this is Yuffie for sure, at a targeted figure. Characters shot by soldiers. Wait, was there really blood? Honestly, I can't remember if there was any blood at all in the previous game. But anyway, some female characters are designed with revealing outfits. Example, deep cleavage. I mean, that's expected because we have a lot of beautiful and hot female characters in the game. Now, for sure, the deep cleavage is mostly referring to Scarlet, because her default costume shows a lot of cleavage. So, I mean, it could be Tifa, it could be Yuffie, right? They could have like summer outfits in there, but I'm pretty sure like 90% of the game, 90% of the cleavage is gonna be from Scarlet for sure. Suggestive dialogue sometimes accompanies camera panning, close-ups of characters, bodies, outfits. That's good. I like that. Just admit it, you're obviously captivated by my you're obviously captivated by my bodacious beach bod. Wait, this line. Wait, isn't this line by Hojo? Do you guys remember from the OG? This is Hojo. Wait a minute. That makes it funny. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this line, Hojo was the one who said this in one of our trips to Costa del Sol, if I can remember from the OG. It's so funny because it's like that's the example they gave. Like, there could be so many other examples, but anyway, continuing. The game contains some alcohol content, as Cloud players can drink a version of moonshine while at a bar. Cutscenes sometimes feature drunk characters slurring their speech. Okay, I think we're gonna get Sid. I have a very strong feeling that we're gonna meet Sid in part 2 in Rebirth. A handful of scenes depict characters smoking cigars. There we go, cigars. That's Sid. Sid is pretty much the prominent character who smokes and drinks, smoking cigars or out of hookahs. What are hookahs again? I don't know, I forgot. The words shit, asshole, and prick appear in the game. Okay, so that's it. So there's a specific line here. Let me see if I can find it. It didn't catch my attention really enough. So there was a specific line that players have been talking about because it sort of hints to what happens to Aerith in Rebirth, because we all know in the OG she dies, right? So let's which line was it? It's here something. Is this it? Sometimes with splatters, pools of blood. Is this what they're talking about? Explosion cutscenes depict further instances of violence, sometimes with splatters. Characters impaled. Okay, here it is. Characters impaled or slashed by swords. Now, I don't. We can't really say for sure that this might be pertaining to Aerith's death. So, and the thing is, it could just be like, a, how do I say? It could just be a vision from the OG timeline. So again, I'm going to explain what remake really is all about. Although none of this is like confirmed by Square Enix, it's mostly theory. But at this point, it's like pretty obvious, right? So, remake basically is a sequel to the OG compilation. So the way it works is there are actually 3 timelines in the game now for the whole. So if we say now the whole compilation, including remake and rebirth. So in the OG, that was timeline 1, and then when we first started remake, that was timeline 2, and then at the end of remake, which is the start of rebirth, that would be timeline 3. Because if you guys remember, they pretty much jumped into a different timeline where if you guys have seen the trailers already, Tifa, Barrett, and all the other Avalanche members, I don't know if they died, but they were shown being like carted into ambulances, right? So that's like, to me, is the biggest proof that they did actually jump timelines. And then in timeline 3, Zack is alive. So there's gonna be, I don't know if they're gonna be seeing their timeline 3 counterparts, unless Square actually did kill them off. It's not confirmed if their timeline 3 counterparts are dead, but we know that Cloud, the timeline 3 Cloud, is alive as well, but he's probably still brain dead, right? Zack also is alive. So all of that is still theory at this point, because we'll know once we start playing the game actually. So what I'm trying to say is, it's possible that in timeline 3, Aerith actually lives. So another thing that that accompanies the strong different timeline theories is that Aerith and Sephiroth are from timeline 1. Like, they're, how do I say it? They're like, their spirits traveled through the live stream, and then because they're like so powerful and like so pure or something, they were able to like transcend time and space. So that's why, if you guys have noticed in remake, like, there are a lot of parts where Aerith seems to know what's going to happen next. So it could be that they are from from timeline 1, both of them, Sephiroth and Aerith, and then Aerith reliving her life in different timelines. It's possible that she might live in timeline 3, but our Aerith from timeline 1, from OG, is technically dead still. But my explanation now is getting more convoluted and more complicated. But what I'm trying to say is, in Rebirth, Aerith might actually survive. Like, I know I said it's the Aerith from timeline 1. Yeah, like, her body will be dead, but her spirit will like live on in like timeline 3, where we are right now. So that is possible that she actually lives in timeline 3, so that she gets a happy ending with Zack, and then Aerith getting impaled will probably just be a vision, to show like this is what happened in the OG timeline, right? Okay, so another thing that I want to talk about is that, like, in multiple interviews, like, the writers of remake and rebirth have kind of hinted that the conclusion of rebirth will kind of connect to how do I say this, Advent Children. So if you guys remember, in Advent Children, like, Aerith and Zack appeared in like spirit form, like at the very end of the movie they appeared in like spirit form to like sort of congratulate Cloud, and like sort of like watch what happened in the church and all the Mako and stuff. I can't recall the exact scene on the top of my head, but I clearly remember like their spirits were there. They were talking. They were like watching over the children and everyone in the church. And there was also, I believe, a light novel that sort of how do I say it? Sort of tells the story of Aerith traveling through the live stream up until that point at the end of the movie in Advent Children, where like she actually gets to meet Zack while she was traveling in the live stream. Now I can't remember which light novel it was, but it's on the top of my head. I didn't like research it in advance for this video. Forgive me for that, but yeah, I read that. I'm 100% read that. So you just go search for it. But basically, she traveled through the live stream. When she died, she traveled through the live stream while Advent Children, while the events of Advent Children were unfolding. Like Aerith was doing something in the background, like meeting people, meeting Zack, and then eventually her and Zack appeared at the end of the movie in Advent Children as like spirits, right? So this could be like remake, the whole remake trilogy could actually be Aerith's journey towards Advent Children. So that's what I'm thinking right now, because there's so many possibilities with with time travel. This is the thing with time travel, that there's just so many possibilities, and it could end up bad if written bad, but it could end up really really well if they write it really really well. So like at this point in time, like I'm how do I say it, like I'm leaning towards that in a way. Like there's the possibility of that, or this could be like totally different, a totally different story from that. But yeah, like it's pretty sure it's confirmed that we are in a different timeline. We start out in a different timeline in Rebirth. So yeah, Aerith could very well live, and then as of my theory for how the series could end, it's possible that they eventually like realize that they are not the originals, and like they can't change time and all. Like this is all like some sort of ethereal experience for them, like a what if, sort of a what if experience for them. And like eventually it might still end with Advent Children, right? Because I think I have a big feeling that they're still going to continue Dirge of Cerberus after all of this is said and done. Once the remake trilogy is done, I think they're going to continue Dirge of Cerberus. There's a really big chance that they will do that, because they did remake Crisis Core, who supposedly there were problems with Gact, the with Genesis and all that, but they were able to remake it eventually. So yeah, I'm pretty hopeful. I'm pretty excited. So yeah, TLDR, the remake series is not meant to be a remake, but it's meant to be a continuation, a sequel to the OG compilation, which ended at Dirge of Cerberus, but supposedly remake continues right after OG. So it might very well connect to Advent Children and eventually Dirge of Cerberus. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'm so excited to play this game. I'm going to buy this game day one. Like there are no stores in my town that sell PlayStation games, so I have to travel 2 hours to the next city and 2 hours back just to buy the freaking game. That's life. That it is what it is. So yeah, I'm so excited to play this. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Otsukeru.